All right, Euro. So we're currently in Berlin. I think this was the last major event here in Europe for me was Dortmund, so that's almost a year ago. Crazy if you think about it. But the format feels kind of awkward, right? So does Konami need to do something about going second? I mean, we have the new Maxis, right? The new Mulch armies. Those are definitely an option to, I guess, increase the ability of going second. But for me, it felt that it wasn't really never a problem of going second, or if you had to go second. Sure, there's potential deck building options for you to go second, like we see with Tenpai, more droplets, change of heart, mind control, and stuff like that. As we are seeing here, people tacking in their Fiendsmith Snake Eyes decks, as we've seen on social media, YouTube, and so on. Is that a lot of people are fed up, and the current best deck being obviously Fiendsmith Snake Eyes, the power level of the deck is just far too high compared to other decks. Like Yugioh is strong as well, can do ridiculous stuff as well when going first, but the difference between like that deck and other decks I feel is a bit too high. So Konami really needs to do something about it with a potential ban list. They will obviously do that, but going second might need to be improved, and there are some options, as in card design-wise, stuff like new Maxi, better board breakers, new Bestial alike cards, or whatever. So there's all definitely options, or maybe even give the player going second the ability to draw the opening card, or at least when it's their turn to draw one. So those are all definitely options, but let's see what the people think. Going second. Should Konami do something about players or people going second? Okay. You have the board breakers, a new game mechanic, or whatever. What would you do?
I would not say that going second is too weak in Yu-Gi-Oh! I think going second, there's a lot of really powerful options. You have plenty of hand traps. You have plenty of possible, like really strong cards like Talon's Thrust, Evenly Matched, Super Polymerization, whatever. All the take spells like Change of Heart and stuff are coming back. I think the issue is that going first is too strong. I don't think we should always go like one step higher above. Like I think going first needs to just be toned down a little bit. Other than that, I think it's really cool whenever cards have bonus effects when you go second. Like for example, a card like Incredible Ecclesia, which is a completely normal card in Sword Soul. When you go first, you can still use her, but she gets better when you go second, because then it's a special summon instead of a normal summon. I really like that, because that just makes going second better without having to play or draw a specific like board breaker or something. Your deck is just better going second.
Right. I could kind of agree with, let's say, and that's something that has been happening past couple of months, newer archetypes getting like a Poplar when it's added to the hand. So very similar to give every deck an Ecclesia, a special summonable, fetch something from the archetype.
I would prefer that, because that would not be as broken going first, right? If every deck has a Poplar, that makes every deck really strong going first. Right. But if every deck has an Ecclesia, that's just like more balanced for going second. Right.
Okay, makes sense.
So I have this thing that I think one of my friends suggested, going second player draws 6, but the idea is that he draws a 6 card at the start of your opponent's turn.
Oh, okay.
So I start my turn with 6 cards. So basically it increases the odds of seeing multiple hand traps, and if you have like a board breaker or not. You have full information of how you're playing. So it doesn't technically change, because you still have the same amount of cards, but it means that I can hand trap better and I can play in a better way.
Yeah.
So I think that would be better from game mechanics. I think it wouldn't be like a hard change.
And new Maxi cards, how about those?
I think those cards are like bad, because like they're like shifter. Their solutions to cards are like hard draws. So like those decks are like they only win going second when they draw shifter. The Mo Charm is kind of similar energy, where the deck isn't designed to win, but they draw this one card you can't beat. But so it's like, do you draw the card, draw the out? It's Maxi like. I think if the mechanic worked, like, that's why I think like the game needs a mechanic shift. You have more fair hand traps. The interesting games of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is when you're trading Veilers, Imperms, Bestials, not the games where you're getting like shifted Mo Charm.
Exactly.
Because right now Yu-Gi-Oh! Is more of a, I'm trying to find a way to win second. It's alright because it's Swiss rounds and best of 3s, so you're allowed to lose games in Yu-Gi-Oh! You can lose games and it's totally fine. You can win the whole event. Afterward, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But the thing is, right now they are printing new hand traps. Some of these I like. For example, the Bestials I think were crazy. Very interesting mechanic. You don't get to discard your hand trap, but you get to summon it. Maybe more of those. The biggest thing they could do is allow the player that's playing second to draw his 6th card before the draw phase. I think that will be a game changer. You get to see your hand traps better. Playing hand traps, you get less punished for that, because you won't draw it as a dead card. Plus, you'll be able to play your cards better, because you know what's on your top deck. How many times I had to play my hand trap very aggressively because I didn't know if I had an extender or not, for example. If I saw it already, I would have played completely differently. It's just outside of what's Yu-Gi-Oh right now. Yu-Gi-Oh is about playing your cards the right way. If you don't know what you're drawing for turn, you can't play those. So I think modern Yu-Gi-Oh should be 6 cards for the second player, and then he doesn't get a draw phase.
I thought about that a lot. I don't think cards like Maxi really help, because I always compare it to Master Duel. We have Maxi. People just play more Maxi outs than the people play Maxis. So it gets frustrating. When you have Maxi, it doesn't resolve. The next game you play, the opponent has Maxi, it resolves.
The mini game, right?
Exactly, the mini game, that's really annoying. When I think back, I'm playing since like 13, 14 years. Like back in the day when you lost the die roll, it wasn't like the end of the world. You set 2 cards and summon a monster, that's it. I feel like maybe a factory reset, like a huge ban list or like a rotation like other card games have. There are so many cards, like maybe we just keep like a base of like stables in the game, and then the format always rotates. I feel like that might help to like calm the game down a bit, because going first is just too much now.
So it's mainly the other way around, or make going first much weaker,
exactly.
lower the power level.
I don't think making going second stronger is the solution, because the ceiling always gets higher. And I don't think that's the solution. Maybe player draws a 6th card, like he doesn't draw for turn. Maybe that does help. But I feel like we need a big ban list in general.
A really simple change to make going second just like a little bit better. Make it so that the player who goes second doesn't draw for turn, but they draw 6 cards. I think that's like a very common thing, and I subscribe to that idea as well. Like it does feel absolutely terrible when every deck, like in certain formats, not every format you have to play a bajillion hand traps, but there's no worse feeling than you like hand trap your opponent like twice or something, and then like they're still able to make a board. Your hand sucks, and you draw for turn. And it's like droll, and like you're just like, oh, great, I would have loved to have this in my opening hand, and I think it's like a very simple change that would just like do so much good for going second in Yu-Gi-Oh for sure. You get hand looped or something, but the cards that hand loop you shouldn't be in the game either. So like, we're already in a space where card design is leaning towards a lot of cards are just good going second. Look at cards like Dominus Purge, the Molcharmi monsters, even the new Molcharmi, the Furos. Yeah, people are saying that card's broken, but it's good going second, and going second's really bad, so I'll take it, So, yeah.
I mean, the game mechanic is quite an interesting approach. Going second is not a problem right now. It's the go first that is really problematic. Cards like Beatrice, the Fiendsmith, which are not going to get touched, so Beatrice is probably the problem card. And we should not try to see the cards that Beatrice can send, but see Beatrice as a problem itself. This is the only problem going first that we have right now.
So lowering the ceiling are of the best decks, I guess.
If we make going second too strong, we get the room full of Tempais, and that is not fun.
That's true.
I think a really good fix would be allowing you to draw your 6th card on that first turn already. So your odds of having hand traps is slightly higher, and you also don't feel as bad drawing a Nibiru as a 6th, for example. So I think like there's actually a lot of Saki auto win cards for going second already. It's just that going first has their own. So I think going first should just lose all of the going first floods. Like skill drain. Yeah, just allowing you to draw that 6th already, so you really know what outs you're playing with for going second. It's like a good start.
I mean, just 1-card combos is like the biggest problem in Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially the Snake Guy is the biggest example of the problem of Ash and Diabell work together perfectly, and are both 1-card combos. The Fiendsmith is also full combo on its own. If everything is a 1-card combo, then going second is going to be naturally impossible.
Right, so not per se change something about the game or game mechanic, but lowering the power level of the best deck compared to the other decks.
For sure, just the power level of cards need to be slightly reduced.